In the dead of night, a young girl got up to go to the bathroom. When she returned to her bed, she noticed that her blanket had been pulled off. Assuming it was her brother, she went back to sleep. But when she awoke, she discovered that her brother was still fast asleep in his bed, and the blanket had vanished. She got up and went to find it, but outside she saw something that made her scream in terror. This is the chilling, true horror story of what happened to 9-year-old Asha Degree. On the night of February 3rd, 2000, Asha Degree and her family were at home in Shelby, North Carolina. Her father, Moses, was out on work release from prison. He'd been convicted for burglary and was staying at a halfway house, but was allowed to come home at night. And her mother, Equila, worked as a nurse. At the time, both of Asha's parents were dating other people. Asha was in 4th grade and was described by her teachers as a bright and happy child. Her parents were going through a messy and contentious divorce. According to her father, Asha would often wake up in the middle of the night, believing that there was a monster in her closet. To calm her down, he installed a security camera in her room, hooked up to a monitor beside his own bed. On the night of February, just after 11 p.m., Asha got up to go to the bathroom. On the security monitor, her father watched as she climbed into bed next to him and snuggled under the covers. About 15 minutes later, he noticed that the blanket had been pulled off her, and she appeared to be sleeping with just her pajamas on. Assuming it was her older brother who had done it, he said nothing. But when he checked the monitor again, about 20 minutes later, he saw that his son was still sleeping and Asha's blanket was nowhere to be seen. He called out to her and got no answer. He then got out of bed to go check on her, but she was gone. He immediately called 911 and reported her missing. Soon, a team of 50 officers were searching the neighborhood for any sign of Asha, but they found nothing. The police also searched the house and the security footage, but it appeared as though Asha had simply vanished into thin air. There was no sign of forced entry and nothing had been stolen. The only thing that was missing was Asha. As the hours passed, her parents grew increasingly worried. Where could she have gone? Who could have taken her? What had happened to her? At 4:30 a.m., officers received an anonymous tip that a little girl matching Asha's description had been seen walking. Along a highway about 10 miles away from her home, an extensive search was conducted, but Asha was nowhere to be found. Over the next few days, hundreds of volunteers joined the search effort, but as the days turned into weeks, hope began to dwindle that Asha would be found alive. Her parents never gave up hope, though. They continued to search for her every day and hand out flyers with her picture on them to anyone who would listen. To this day, Asha's disappearance remains a mystery. No one knows what happened to her or where she is now. Did she run away from home? Was she kidnapped? Or is she dead? Unfortunately, we may never know the truth. But there is one thing that we do know. Whatever happened to Asha, it was a terrible tragedy. A young girl with her whole life ahead of her just up and vanished. Her family deserves answers and justice, but it seems like they may never get it. If you have any information about what happened to Asha, please come forward and help bring her home. Until then, we will never forget her, and we will always be searching for her. Asha Degree. If you want to hear another scary story, then click the video on screen now. Thanks for watching.